It's our pleasure, honestly, sir. Welcome. Welcome. I don't know if it's Dr. Chief, His Excellency, Ali Balogun. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Welcome. So this is the time where we listen to the welcome address by our indefatigable convener, Dr. Nkechi Ali Balogun.
Please, just before she comes, let's have our introductory video.
She is a leading public relations expert in Nigeria, a multi-talented industry veteran with over 25 years of professional experience in client services and public relations consultancy. She is the founder of the NECCI Consultants. She has provided seamless execution for brands and companies in both the private and public sectors. She is committed to the consistent design and delivery of the best available public relations and management strategies, especially in the area of crisis management and governance. Shining at the peak of her educational prowess, she has received numerous awards, including Lifetime Achievement Award by the NIPR, PR Living Legend in West Africa Award by Red Media, and one of the 50 Women in Marketing by This Day, Guardian, and Business Day. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our public relations woman powerhouse, the convener of NECCI PR Roundtable, Nkechi Ali Balogun, PhD.
Wow, thank you so much. I always get emotional when I'm here. And I always start, my first protocol is to thank God, who always makes sure that I'm here. Some people say I'm sanctimonious. Well, maybe. I am standing here only because He made a way. So, Your Excellency, I want to thank you personally for coming. This is a lady of integrity, humble, a role model. I like it when we have women in high places and they demystify that position. Because many a time when a lot of us are there, you cannot reach them, you cannot touch them. But this one is reachable, accessible, lovable, wonderful, and keeps her word. You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's event. It is with great honor and deep gratitude to God that I stand before you today to welcome you to the 24th edition of the Neccipr Roundtable. We are deeply appreciative of your presence, and I sincerely thank each and every one of you for taking the time to join us for this inspiring and impactful event. For 23 years, the Neccipr Roundtable has been at the forefront of bringing critical and topical issues to the minds of decision makers with a view to finding sustainable solutions to these pressing challenges. It has been a journey filled with purpose, one grounded in deep commitment to addressing societal concerns that affect not just our industries, but the world at large. In all humility, glory of God, we have recorded many successes in achieving this goal, and today, we are proud of the role we have played in driving positive changes across sectors, various sectors. In this 24th edition, themed Women in Technology, Breaking Barriers, we are particularly excited to spotlight a critical and timely issue, one that reflects the evolving landscape of technology and its intersection with gender. Technology is now a driving force in the global economy, powering innovation and shaping the future of future industries worldwide. And if I may make you laugh, a lot of us are already jittery about AI. In my industry, some people think AI will take over humans. Well, that is another area for research. Technology is now a driving force in the global economy, powering innovation and shaping the future of industries worldwide. However, despite the vast potential, women remain underrepresented in this vital field, facing significant barriers to entry, progression, and leadership roles. Our theme for this year, Women in Technology, Breaking Barriers, reflects our collective mission to not only acknowledge these barriers, but to actively work towards dismantling them. While we do not downplay the roles of men, and in fact, we are proud of them. Can we give them a round of applause? It, however, calls on us to explore the roles women play in shaping the digital world and to examine how we can create a more inclusive and equitable space for women to thrive in technology. Therefore, the overarching goals of this event are to foster a partner as a pivotal resource for the growth of African technology, showcase and promote strategies to raise awareness and implement initiatives that drive this change, spotlight trailblazing women in the digital technology sector, their potential as a vast reservoir of intellectual energy, highlights women in tech as a critical resource for advancing the African continent to the world, to the forefront of the global digital technology landscape, foster gender diversity, and empowering women in the technology ecosystem. The purpose and clear vision of how we can continue to break down the barriers. First, I think there's a mix-up in my write-up. We are here to honor the remarkable contributions of women leaders in technology and to gain valuable insights from our esteemed panel members. Their expertise, experiences, and dedication to driving change in the tech industry will inspire and guide us throughout today's program. I would like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to some very distinguished personalities who have graced this event with their presence and support. In no order, I would like to thank Dr. Danla Dibako. There's so much to say about him. He was my boss in NTA. In fact, so many things to talk about him. He's coming out. You know, we women, we like to be told how well we are doing. He never stops telling me I'm doing well and he's proud of me. Thank you so much. My professor, Prof. Akim Feleye, you know, thank you, thank you. That's my father figure. My president, NIPR president, Dr. Ike Neliako. The keynote speaker, Tomiwa Williams. I have never seen such, mostly when she was on transit. She promised to be here, and there she is. We are meeting for the first time today. Welcome, ma'am. Well, there are some people that I don't know whether I should call them or not, you know. Well, they know themselves. Some call him my 5 and 6, but I don't know who made him. YBO is here. There's a lady here, in fact, ladies here that I must recognize, and I will have to move on. Because if I keep doing this, we won't finish. Bumi Oke, my chairman, Madam Iko, thank you, welcome. Well, Mojishola is my wife. Even though she has run away, well, she's one of the panelists. Thank you for coming. And I want to welcome all the panelists, young and old. If I didn't call your name, it's because of time, not because I didn't see you. I did see you. First, I wish to thank Senator Daisy Danjuma. Yes, she couldn't come because she lost somebody. They are burying the person today Otherwise, she would have come. Our patron of the day for her unwavering support and dedication to this cause. Your presence here speaks volumes about your commitment to empowering women and promoting inclusive progress. Let me quickly mention that Daisy was here last year, and she promised to make sure that this event is sustainable. And I want to let you know that she was the first donor that we had and paid for this venue. Next, I send my sincere thanks to our chairman, Her Excellency Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele. Your leadership and passion for women advancement have been a source of inspiration to many, and we are truly honored to have you preside over today's event. Lastly, I wish to specially recognize and thank our distinguished keynote speaker, Mrs. Olatomiwa Williams. As a trailblazer in the tech industry, your voice and insights will undoubtedly set the stage for the important conversations we're about to have. Thank you for joining us and for your willingness to share experiences with us today. I'm confident that this roundtable will provide a platform for robust discussions and innovative ideas. And I encourage everyone present to actively engage, share your insights, and lend your voices to this important cause. We are all here because we recognize the urgency of this issue, and together we have the power to make meaningful differences. Once again, I extend my deepest thanks to all our esteemed participants, speakers, and guests. I must at this juncture welcome the chairman of NIPR Ogun State. She came in this morning from Abeokuta. Thank you, ma'am. And then, of course, my own chairman, Madam Comfort Obot, always here. Yeah. And then, where is the only human kuli? Dr. Femi Adeshino. How many of us know what kuli is? Don't worry, you don't know the secret. You're welcome. I'm saving that one for last. So once again, I extend my deepest thanks to all our esteemed participants, speakers, and guests. Your presence here today signals your belief that by the end of this roundtable, we will live with a renewed sense of women in technology. Before I say our rider, please give me just 1 second to thank my husband. Sometimes we women, we take our partners for granted, but I support that he gives me over the years. And as I do that, I'm also welcoming Dr. Patricia Opene Odili. I know why I need her to be recognized. Thank you for coming. Thank you. The Lord is your strength. Our rider this year is, the future is female. The future is tech female. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the future. Thank you very much.
Participation in technology. We still have a long way to go. But like I said in the short spoken word that I performed, just, a few moments ago, that women, we are not here to sacrifice that women, we are not here to sacrifice excellence on the altar of gender. No, we're not. And so if the cap fits, let's wear it. And if the pant fits, let's wear it. At this point, I would like to call on the chairman of the Council of Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Mr. Ike Neliaku, to come, please, and give us his goodwill message. Sir, it's your turn. A round of applause for him. A round of applause for him. President, chairman, sorry. Okay. Yes. Sir, are you ready to come down for your goodwill message? Well, like they say here in our country, what God has joined together, let Neccipr not put asunder. Okay, a round of applause for the President, Chairman, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, who is graciously chairing this event, and you are doing it so well, ma'am. You came right here on time, chair very well. Engineer Noimoth Salako Oyedele, we appreciate you. I would like to appreciate a young man who is doing very well in government at this time, and I pray he continues to do well, Mr. Otega Oga. Where is he? Senior Special Assistant to the President on social media. And then may I also recognize our brother who is now on this side, the other side before, Kuli Dr. Adeshina. We are delighted to have you, Kogun and Sokoto, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies. I'm deeply grateful to be here this morning, and I appreciate the opportunity given to me to say a few words. To so many of us, NAB, as we call her, Nkechi Ale Balogu for short, represent so many things. But you know, if Mahmoud Ali Balogu has not, and does not give her the opportunity, she will not be who she has become in the last 24 years that she has hosted this program. So I want to celebrate you, sir, because you are a man who strongly believes that you must give women the opportunity to rise. And we appreciate that. We are using this opportunity to speak to other men to allow their women to breathe. Nkechi Ale Balogu represents so many things to many of us. And if I am asked to define her in a short while, I will just use 7 words. And I mean it not because she's here. Nkechi is very hardworking. Very, very hardworking. She doesn't take no for an answer, except if she doesn't want to do it, and she will tell you that she will not do it. But if she accepts to do it, she does everything possible to get it work. Secondly, Nkechi is resilient. She does not give up. She keeps pushing. If she's the type that gives up, we won't be here this morning. She would have canceled this event because we know the situation in the country today. And it's not as if the sponsors were pouring in. But she said this show must go on. And we are here today because she's very committed. That's number 3, a very committed person. Whatever she lays her hands on, she makes sure that it succeeds. Which then brings number 4, result-oriented. I haven't seen anything that is handed over to her that she will not come back to you with result. The result may not be 100%, but certainly you are sure that she will come back to you and say, here is the outcome of that assignment that you gave me to do. Number 5, she is a friend of excellence. She's a very strong friend of excellence. And number 6, the opposite. She's an enemy of mediocrity. If you are not good, she doesn't know how to pretend, and that's her problem. She will tell you that you are itibolibo, which means that you are. I don't know how to explain it because itibolibo is the weakness of the foolish. She will find a nice way to say it to you for you to know that she believes that you are not doing the best. And that then brings me to the last one. She's a strong advocate of women empowerment. But But this is based on excellence and merit, not based on sentiments and emotion. You will not find Madam Chi Ali Balogu promoting the cause of women because you are a woman. She will ask you to show what you can do, show the value that you carry.
And protocols. Good morning, ladies and gents, which is the underrepresentation and underserved nature of women and the neglect in various sectors. Whilst, we can celebrate various progresses and achievements like my principal, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's appointment of women into key ministerial positions and boards of MDAs, and also things like in the banking sector where you have women holding a lot of leadership roles. I think 50% or more of the top 10 banks in Nigeria are led by women. There is still a major gap. And that major gap is seen in places like the tech sector, where you have only about 13% of women holding leadership positions, or even in the sector as a whole. And this stark contrast has presented to us a glaring gap, one that is unacceptable and demands our immediate. And where does the solution lie? The solution lies in us building systems, structures, and processes to dismantle all the barriers that prevent women from achieving their full potential. And these systems start from the family units, our societies, the corporations we represent, governments like ours. We must dismantle everything, all these barriers, access to mentors who not only inspire them, but pave pathways that may have once seemed impossible for them to achieve. Those who have successfully navigated, these challenges, like Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, we must open the doors for other women to come through in a way that is not offensive or non-collaborative with the other gender, my gender, in order to cultivate an inclusive environment. At this point, I would like to express my deepest gratitude and appreciation to Mrs. Nkechi Ali Balogun, my leader in the PR space and an expert in this thing, for guiding this year's conference, to such an important theme. Discussions about women's role in society, in companies, on boards, in sectors, it may sound cliche, but it's a conversation we need to continue having any day, anytime, anywhere, any place. We must repeat those conversations until people hear and people do the right thing in ensuring that our women have as limited barriers to them to grow. As people say very often, when you empower a woman, you uplift an entire community. But I would like to say something. By breaking barriers for women in tech, we do not just transform nations or industries or whatsoever. We can fundamentally transform the economic landscape of any nation. And Nigeria must, we must heed to that. Women in tech are not and will not, and they must never ever be just mere participants, in this sector. Women in tech are enablers, and they are powerful catalysts for the growth of our country, Nigeria. Thank you once again for this, and thank you for this year's conference, Madam Nkechi Balogun. God bless you all.
Thank you very, very much, Otege Ogao. And we're still in the goodwill message section, and I'm very delighted to welcome on stage Dr. Nasiru Danladi Bako, OON, and I'm trying to see this. There's so many things to say about Dr. Danladi Bako. One of the things that stand out and that I remember as a young person growing up, excellent broadcaster or broadcaster per excellence. That's who he is, and so many other things. Good afternoon, sir. I'm very delighted to meet with you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. The chairman of the day or chairperson of the day, Engineer Salako Oyedele, it's appropriate that they took an engineer to chair Women in Tech seminar. Amazing, isn't it? And it's only Nkechi could have done that. The former president of NIPR, Chief Mike Okereke, I interviewed him on Morning Ride some 40 years ago. I just reminded him, amazing. My prof, my lecturer in 1980, University of Lagos, my master's degree, 1980, Professor Ralph Akinfeleye, the Beko Nui of Idonre Kingdom. My brother, Mr. Yomi Badejo Konsanya, 10 years ago, I went to represent my governor in Ogun State at the opening of Arekpo Journalist Village, and he reminded me that he hated me on TV because women were after me. Can you imagine? So we live with such things, you know. My two brothers, Dr. Femi Adeshina and Benga Adefaye, my junior brother, Dr. Ike Neliaku. The list is long. I'll just summarize with the last two, Nkechi Ali Balogun, NAB, and Mahmoud Ali. Powerful, powerful. Queen of Sheba, Nana Asmau. Fast forward, Mrs. Winnie Mandela would sneak into Nigeria, would sneak all over Africa to mobilize support for her husband in jail, who was one of the champions of the anti-apartheid struggle. These people. Another two sets of women that had incredible impact. Chief Mrs. Kuforiji Olubi, first female chairman of UBA. I had very close interactions with her from 1988. Nkechi was with us in NTA at that time, and Mahmoud was with us. 88, I interviewed her on Morning Ride and asked her, when is Nigeria going to get our first female president? She said, very soon. We're still waiting. I interviewed Mrs. Miriam Babangida because I was in charge. I was on grade level 13, and it was my duty to supervise Better Life for Rural Women, 1985, 86, 87. Miriam Babangida also, I put her on the spot severally. When are you going to make your husband allow women to become leaders and probably a president? She also said, in not too distant future. We're still waiting. But the good news is that not too far away in the United States of America, in the next 5 days, a woman will be running neck and neck as they are now and probably win the election to be first female president of America. Am I right? So we have moved from the past. We're now talking about the present because Kamala Harris has shown the capacity. Everybody that thought that Donald Trump was a cowboy, gangster, Clint Eastwood, John Coltrane, everybody that thought this Texan cowboy image was reduced to smithereens by a young girl from California, Attorney General. And so the race is neck and neck now. And it can happen. Because in 4 of the swing states, 7 of them, North Carolina, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada, she's pulling ahead by a point. The margin of error is very close. So, if that happens, that will give inspiration to Engineer Salako Oyedele to probably hope to be the next governor. These are small things. They look small, they look far away, but they can impact on all of us sitting down here. Because I can see if a Kamala Harris wins, Nkechi's swagger will be different. Nkechi's swagger will, yeah. So I want to encourage you all, ladies first, to follow the benefits of this conference, Women in Tech. And I want to remind you that just in case your husbands or your better half or your partners do not allow you to bother to get involved in politics, get involved in technology. It will be a good distraction while you wait for politics. Because in technology, you don't need the approval of your husband, do you? You just sit on your internet, your laptop, you sit and do your fintech, whatever, you do your startup, whatever, and just inform him, because there is that element of you and your technological platform, you and your instrument, and you can communicate and make money. A lot of all the young people that make skits out of TikTok, out of technology now, are making it because but today, technology allows them to get busy. Technology allows them to make music. Technology allows them to do skits. Technology allows them to become inventors. So I expect the next Steve Jobs to be a woman. We expect the next Elon Musk to be a woman. We expect the next biggest invention in technology of going beyond the moon to be a woman. And we hope one day the next president of Nigeria someday will also be a woman. I thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. That was a very engaging goodwill message. One of the things I also have to thank the people of, as we used to say then, Sakwato. One of the things I need to be very thankful for is the fact that, first of all, when I received a call-up letter to go and serve, it turned out to be Sokoto. So I served in Sokoto State, and not only did I serve as a copper in Sokoto State, after 3 weeks of service, it looks like something was doing me giz-giz. I had found the bone of my bones. So I went to serve my fatherland, Dr. Daladi Bako, and as I was leaving Sokoto, I came back home with a wife. 14 years after, as they say, it's 14 years after and 3 children. So to the people of Sokoto, please help me thank the Sultan for allowing me to meet my wife in Sokoto. And maybe the then governor, in fact, we liked his name so much that we will call his name for fun. Dr. Aliu Magatakada Wamako Schultz. And you see coppers excitedly saluting that name, even when he was not around. Thank you very much, sir. All right, we have to move forward a bit. Now, you know, we're talking about women in technology, and it just occurred to me, sometimes when people say, is women in tech, you need to be sure which kind of technology are we talking about. One day, we met somebody, and say, I'm also in tech, women in tech. Okay, so I started talking about AI and all of that, only to find out that she wasn't moving, she couldn't engage in that conversation. I said, you say you're a woman in tech. You say, which tech is your own? That was when I realized she was a nail technician. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time. Please, photographers, gather around here, because it's a groundbreaking moment for me in particular. As I said, it's a pleasure to bring up the deputy governor of my own state, the best state in Nigeria. In fact, we sing a song, Isheya, Isheya, Omo Ogun Isheya, Eledumare Ishe Maya o Ìṣẹ̀yà ọmọ Ògùn kì í sáṣẹ́, ọmọ Ògùn kì í ṣọ̀lẹ, ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbẹ́rù o, Olúwa ń bẹ fún wa, ẹ tẹra mọ́ṣẹ́ o. Ìṣẹ̀yà ọmọ Ògùn ìṣẹ̀yà.
She is a prominent Nigerian figure, renowned for her contributions to politics, engineering, and entrepreneurship. Currently, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Southwest Nigeria. Her tenure has been marked by a strong focus on infrastructure development, women's empowerment, and community service. With a solid foundation in engineering, Her Excellency has amassed significant experience in both the public and private sectors. Her contribution to politics, engineering, and entrepreneurship have solidified her reputation as a respected and influential figure in Nigeria. Her leadership, dedication, and commitment to public service have made a lasting impact on her state and the nation as a whole. Please welcome an engineering woman powerhouse, Her Excellency, Engineer Noimat Salako Oyedele.
And digital media to the President, Mr. Ortega Ogra, the convener of the Neccipr, Dr. Mrs. Nkechi Ali Balogun, and her husband, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Balogun, the President and Chairman of Council of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Ike Neliaku, the lead partner of CMC Connect, my dear big brother, Chief Yomi Badejo Okusanya, former special advisor, media and publicity to President Muhammadu Buhari, Mr. Femi Adesina, our keynote speaker, Mrs. Olatomiwa Williams, the former Director General of the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation and the Kogunan of Sokoto, the elder statesman of the PR industry, Chief Mike Okereke, the former head of Department of Mass Communication at the University of Lagos and another doyen of communication, Professor Ralph Akinfele, the chairman of Lagos NIPR, Mrs. Comfort Obot Nwanko, her co-chairman from Ogun State, Mrs. Oluwaseunboye, all eminent PR practitioners here present, all women in technology present, all the students who are here, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's an honor for me to chair this 24th edition of the Neccipr Roundtable. I'm delighted to stand here with so many trailblazers, thinkers, and change makers, especially in a gathering focused on a subject so timely and transformative, women in technology breaking barriers. We gather today to confront the realities, celebrate the progress, and strategize on ways to unlock the full potential of women in technology, an arena that is not only pivotal to our economic future, but one that holds the promise of transformative impact on our society. Let me start by expressing my appreciation to our convener, Nkechi Ali Balogun, who for over 2 decades has made the Neccipr Roundtable a force for societal progress, spotlighting issues that require urgent attention and fostering dialogue that leads to real solutions. Each year, the Roundtable brings together minds with the courage to confront challenges and find practical, impactful solutions. And this year, the spotlight shines brightly on a challenge and an opportunity that is close to my heart: the role of women in technology. While technology shapes every facet of modern life, we know that women are underrepresented, facing barriers in accessing the sector, advancing within it, and leading from the front. Today's conversations around women in technology mirror a broader mission for equity and opportunity that many of us hold dear. Today's gathering is not only about acknowledging these barriers, but about dismantling them. We're here to foster an environment where women can thrive and where diverse voices are the norm, not the exception. As we do so, we should recognize that breaking these barriers isn't a task for women alone. This is a shared mission, calling on all of us, men and women, to champion inclusion and equity, ensuring that anyone with a vision, talent, or skill has a fair shot at transforming their ideas into reality. As I said, technology now shapes nearly every aspect of our lives, from how we work and learn to how we connect and grow. Yet, despite the industry's vast potential, women are still navigating hurdles that keep them from thriving within it. So when we talk about breaking barriers, we're not just talking about a brighter future for women in technology, we're also talking about harnessing untapped resources and voices. The theme encourages us to focus on the many contributions women are already making, often against great odds, and how we can open doors for even more women to enter and lead in this vital space. It is a call to action that extends beyond conference walls, one that challenges each of us to walk towards a future where technology thrives through the contribution of all genders, all talents, and all perspectives. In Nigeria, and indeed across Africa, technology has increasingly become an avenue for growth, innovation, and economic empowerment. The rapid rise of fintech, agri-tech, edutech, and health tech in recent years underscores the vital role of digital tools in bridging gaps across society. Imagine what it would mean for our continent if we could double the capacity of this sector by bringing more women into tech roles, by harnessing the talent, perspective, and resilience of women who are often overlooked. Imagine the groundbreaking solutions that could emerge if we had more women not just using, but creating the technology of tomorrow. This is not just a vision, but a necessity. The Neccipr Roundtable has long championed forward-thinking ideas and concrete actions, and today should be no exception. Today, we have an incredible lineup of speakers and thought leaders who have made significant strides in the tech industry. I look forward to the invaluable insights and experiences you will bring to this discussion. Through this event, I hope we can foster a shift in mindset, one that not only recognizes the talent of women in technology, but actively mobilizes and develops strategies that empower women to not only enter the tech space, but to thrive, lead, and redefine it. Your voices and stories are the fuel that will drive change beyond this room and inspire others to believe in the power of women in tech. In engineering, and now a politician, I'm personally familiar with the barriers that often confront us women in traditionally male-dominated fields. In my journey, I have seen firsthand the challenges of gender bias, limited access to mentorship, and the uphill climb to leadership roles. Yet, I have also seen how resilience, passion, and community can overcome these obstacles. My own experiences underscore the importance of gatherings like this, where we can unite, share, and reinforce each other in the knowledge that the future we are building is both inclusive and powerful. Because each woman who chooses to step into this field doesn't just clear a path for herself, she clears one for countless others who will follow. For us in public service, the role of women in tech is not just about filling positions. It's about redefining possibilities and unlocking the vast intellectual and creative potential of half of our population. It's about placing women as active architects of our digital future, which is bound to be more dynamic and inclusive if they are part of the design. In conclusion, let us reaffirm our commitment to creating a society where the barriers that hold back half of our population are no more, and where women are empowered to lead and innovate across every field, from data science to software engineering to artificial intelligence. A society where if we break the phrase women in technology isn't an exception, but a norm. The future is female. The future is tech female. Thank you for listening, and God.
Let us all remain standing. I'd like to invite Dr. Femi Adesina, please. We're going straight up to awards and recognition. Dr. Femi Adesina, the former advisor to the president on media and publicity. Please give him a round of applause as it comes. It's not easy. Of course, we know him also as Kuli Kuli, and there is a story behind that. Madam, very wonderful speech. Fantastic. Okay. And of course, the convener, sorry, Dr. Nkechi Ali Balogun, please.
Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I think you can have our seats now. Please. I am very privileged to be asked two distinguished people into the Hall of Fame today. And the first person is Her Excellency, our friend, and our sister, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele. So, this is being presented to you, Your Excellency, in recognition of your unwavering support and pivotal role to the growth of PR and the Neccipr Roundtable. You are hereby inducted into the Neccipr Hall of Fame on this day, October 31, 2024. Congratulations.
It's our pleasure also to invite Professor Ralph Akinfeleye to please join us on stage, because he is also one of the very distinguished inductee into the Neccipr Hall of Fame.
Well, to almost every one of us in the media, Professor Akinfeleye is not only our teacher, he's our mentor, he's our friend, and he's so many things to us all. Therefore, I feel quite privileged to be handing this over to him as he gets inducted into the Neccipr Hall of Fame. This is presented to Professor Ralph Akinfeleye. the
master's degree in mass communication at UNILAG, the University of First Choice, the nation's pride. And I told her that, why do you need a master's degree? She said, I need it. I wanted to discourage her. I told her a story of a friend of mine who studied with me in the United States at the University of Missouri School of Journalism. I was studying journalism. He was studying business administration. He was the first person to call me professor. He said, Ralph, I'm going back to Nigeria. And he left. But let me warn you that BSc is good achievement, master's degree, luxury, PhD, madness. I said, okay, let me get the luxury first, then I can move to the madness. In case you came back after master's degree, you want to pursue PhD. I said, you have an institute, you are already a VC of one institute. He said, no. Will you be able to cope? He said, test me. And this time, last PhD holder in the next activity. And to God be the glory. She was the captain of a particular compulsory course. If you don't pass that course, you will not graduate from UNILAG at the master's level. It's called the Mass Media and National Security. And she was the captain of the class, and she came out with distinction. Congratulations. She started the program. She will come to my office, and when I return our script, he will tell me, Prof, this script is bleeding. And I said, don't worry. Remove the bleeding. He came back. 5 minutes, he go to the seminar room. She came to the department with her laptop and printer, so that no one waits any time. She will go to the seminar room and come back with a clean copy. I will look at it, return it to her. She will come back again. Excellent. That's why I agree with you. She doesn't take no for an answer. And just last 2 weeks, she came out with distinction with an earned Doctor of Philosophy in Mass Communication. Congratulations. Madam, my dear brother, I congratulate you. I congratulate. Please, men and women, encourage your source to do the needful. I am very grateful and I accept this distinction. I have so many plaques in my house, but this is going to be on the first level, Category 1 award. Thank you, and God bless everybody.
Just take photographs. Thank you very much, Professor. Please, shall we just remain standing? No, please. Please, I'd like to invite Mr. Ali Balogun to the stage. Welcome, Professor Ugweze. Welcome to this 24th edition of the Neccipr Roundtable. At this point, I'd like to also invite the Chairman, President, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Iken Eliaku. Dr. Danladi Bako, please join us here. We're just going to have a photo op. And Mr. Yomi Badejo, please join us. Join us here, please. Ortega, yes, please join us. Yes, the SSA to the President on new media. Too many men, right? Okay.
You people should come and please.
I'd also like to take this opportunity to welcome my dear friend of the house, great woman, Mrs. Nneka Krisa Soluka. You're welcome. We see you. You're hiding. We see you. Great support, women supporter. We welcome you. Yes, the dance.
Just before the deputy governor goes, please, I wanted the deputy governor to deliver a message for our governor. I wanted the deputy governor to deliver a message for our governor, so that when they are marking my... Okay. So that when they are about to decide my appointment, they will know who they are talking about. If I don't take a picture with her and she reports to the governor, oh, I saw this gentle boy. He's a good boy. He's from your local government. They will see my face. Oh, yeah. Please, don't joke with this. Oh, she's taking it to Governor Abiodun for my appointment. ọmọ Olúmọ.
Àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, ọmọ Ẹ̀gbá ẹ̀ ó yàyà, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ.
Àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, ọmọ Ẹ̀gbá ẹ̀ ó yàyà, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ.
Àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, ọmọ Ẹ̀gbá ẹ̀ ó yàyà, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ.
Àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, ọmọ Ẹ̀gbá ẹ̀ ó yàyà, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ.
Àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, ọmọ Ẹ̀gbá ẹ̀ ó yàyà, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ.
Ọmọ Olúmọ, ọmọ Olúmọ, ọmọ Ẹ̀gbá ẹ̀ ó yàyà, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ.
Àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ, ọmọ Ẹ̀gbá ẹ̀ ó yàyà, àwa lọmọ Olúmọ.
Ṣé àjù wọn lọ́nà òye.
Wọ́n lọ́nà, àṣeṣe àjù wọn lọ́nà
òye.
ìgbà ìrọ̀lẹ́
Kò tó tán àparò.
àṣeṣe àjù wọn lọ́nà o. Àṣeṣe àjù wọn lọ́nà o. Àṣeṣe àjù wọn lọ́nà. Ìgbà ìrọ̀lẹ́ kò tó ta àparò. Àṣeṣe àjù wọn lọ́nà.
Ìgbà ìrọ̀lẹ́ kò tó tán àparò.
Àṣeṣe àjù wọn lọ́nà. Àṣeṣe àjù wọn lọ́nà o. Àṣeṣe àjù wọn lọ́nà. Ó bá ságbó.
Ìdúná. Ìlú. Ìdúná.
ẹni láyà kó bọ́ ságbó. ìlú rẹ̀ o ìlú rẹ̀ o ìlú bàbá rẹ̀ o ẹni láyà kó bọ́ ságbó. ìlú rẹ̀ o ẹni láyà kó bọ́ ságbó.
a digital woman powerhouse, the CEO of Microsoft Nigeria and Ghana, Olatomiwa Williams.
Good afternoon. I can hear okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not very good at protocol. Please allow me to stand on all existing protocol. However, I would like to specially recognize the convener of this platform, Dr. Nkechi Ali Balogun. Someone that I'm really, really thrilled to meet in person today. Thank you so much for inviting me. And of course, to also your esteemed husband, Mr. Ali Balogun, thank you for being such a strong pillar of support. We appreciate you. And of course, congratulations, sir, on your induction to the Hall of Fame of this prestigious platform. Dr. Ralph Akinfeleye, thank you for all the great work that you've been doing, also supporting women. I mean, I've heard you speak highly of the convener and the role you've also played in her career journey. Thank you so much. To everyone here, thank you so much for coming. You could choose to be somewhere else today, but you make this a priority. A testimony of the fact that you are very invested in the topic of discussion and also empowering women. And to all the men in the house, can we give them a round of applause? Thank you so much for being here and supporting us. I'm always thrilled when I see men coming together to support and empower women. You know, we hear so much about, oh, you know, when you give women power, they trample over you. But you can see how Dr. Nkechi Ali Balogun has demonstrated her adapt respect for her husband, consistently ensuring that he's honored. So when you men the opportunity to stand in the place of honor that they deserve. So let's give her a round of applause. So again, I said it earlier, but I'll repeat it again. It's absolute honor for me to stand in front of every one of you today to discuss a topic that is not only close to my heart, but is also vital to the progress and innovation of our society. Women in technology, shattering glass ceilings in Nigeria and Africa. We gather here to celebrate the remarkable achievements of African women in the tech industry and to address the challenges that still needs to be overcome to ensure an inclusive and diverse future. But before I size, to specially appreciate the convener, Dr. Nkechi Ali Balogun, for her consistency in creating a thriving platform to empower women across different walks of life. It's not easy to be doing something consistently for 2 decades. So you are an inspiration. Thank you so much for your consistency. And the theme of this year, Women in Technology, Breaking Barrier, is a testimony of our desire to ensure women are at the cutting edge of digital economy. I always love to acknowledge women that are making waves in every sphere of life, and most especially in technology. So first, allow me to also acknowledge the trailblazing African women who have paved the way for us, from those who have innovated in local tech startups to those who have led major technological advancements in global companies, such as the late engineer Florence Seriki, MFR, and founder of Omatech Computer. Funke Okpeke, the founder of Main One, Juliet Ehimad, former director of Google West Africa, to mention just a few. We also have rising female stars. So I would also like to recognize and acknowledge our rising stars and young women who are also shattering glass ceilings. The list is endless, but I will mention a few. One is Toyosi Akerele. You can see her picture on the screen. And she's the founder of Rising Networks. Odunayo Eweniyi, co-founder of Piggyvest. Ruth Iselema, founder of Bitmana. Not to forget the disruptors of New Era, and coincidentally, some of them are my colleagues, some of them are in this room today, and you'll be hearing them talk. Inwodo Adora, Chizom Nwoke, and Confidence. Their contribution have not only shaped the tech ecosystem, but have also inspired countless others to follow in their footsteps. Today, African women are making significant strides in technology. We see female leaders heading tech companies, innovation entrepreneurs, and disrupting different industries. We have brilliant scientists coming out of Africa, and they are pushing boundaries of what is possible. However, despite these challenges, in advancing women in technology across Africa, we still face significant barriers in tech industries. But I would like to pause here just to also show that in the midst of these challenges, we see models of organization that have made concerted efforts to ensure that women are empowered. I am privileged and lucky to work for one of such organizations. If you look at Microsoft, across all our key markets in Africa, they are being led by women, whether in Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Morocco. They are all women that are leading these companies and making significant impacts across Africa. Today in Nigeria, women are over 50% of employees. We are 50% population strong as Microsoft employee in Nigeria and close to 40% across Africa. I think that's a significant impact, but there's still a lot to be done. In all of these accolades, women still represent a small fraction of tech workforce, and numbers are even lower in leadership positions. According to the World Economic Forum Report on Equity, Diversity and Inclusion of 2023, with Nigeria ranking 139 out of 153 countries, the 2021 Global Gender Gap Report, that's the Global Gender Gap Report of 2021. This figure paints a picture of uneven landscape of women and men in technology industry in Nigeria. While women are women are largely the users of technology, but when it comes to leading technology companies, women still lag behind. Among many reasons for this disparity are poverty, cultural bias towards girl child, education. It breaks my heart sometimes when you hear a brilliant girl had to drop out of school just to give her brother an opportunity. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't give our boys opportunity. My daughter was telling me of a colleague of hers that almost dropped out. She was already in year 2 in university, but because of economic challenges, her parents told her to drop out of school so that her younger brother could enter into university. That's heartbreaking. So you begin to imagine, why am I a girl? Is it a problem to be a girl child, right? And I remember even growing up, because my mom had 3 girls, and when she was pregnant for the 4th girl, I was still a small girl. I heard even other women talking behind her back that they know that she's going to give birth to a girl. And at that small age, that made me to question my existence. Is it like a girl is inferior to a male child? So I prayed earnestly for the sake of my mother that the child she would deliver at that time should be a boy. But alas, is a girl. So when people were asking me at that time, I mean, congratulations, your mom gave birth. Is it a boy or a girl? In shame. Then, I mean, I will tell them in Yoruba, Iruwa Lotumbi. You know, because I've already been indoctrinated to think that if you don't have a male child, you are not worthy to be in society. I think those cultural norms need to change. Both women and men are created by God. And there's a reason and a purpose for every gender. So we need to give everyone equal opportunity to thrive. And from a cultural perspective, we need to begin to reorientate ourselves to ensure that we make people feel that they're worthy, irrespective of your gender, background, or religion orientation. So we need to look at all of this in contrast to also look at the lack of female venture funding and mentorship. We need more to be done in that area. I think we are making some positive stride, but we still need more efforts to ensure that we empower our female funders with the right funding and opportunity. If we continue on this trajectory, it will be difficult to make significant progress in Nigeria towards Sustainable Development Goal 5, which aims to achieve gender equality by 2030. You know, when we were talking about gender equality some years back, it looks like 2030 is far away. It's just knocking on the door. So we need to accelerate our effort. And thankfully, we have platforms like this to make sure that we continue the dialogue and we're able to get more inclusive perspective to make things move faster. To address this significant imbalance and inequality, and as part of my plans to mitigate against it, we launched Uzemi Technology Empowerment Initiative in 2023. The aim of this is to increase the representation of women in leadership position in technology. We've seen that a number of intervention is being done to bring women into technology. But we also know that technology industry is a male-dominated industry. If we don't have the right level of attention on our female talent, they've somewhat dropped off the line, and I've experienced it. I know a number of my colleagues that dropped off, not because they are not good, but because they don't have the right support structure. So that's why we're creating this platform to support women. This effort, we aim to increase the representation of women in leadership position in tech space in Africa by 20% by 2030, by providing mentorship, leadership training, opportunities for over 30,000 women and girls in tech across the continent. If intentional actions are not taken, we will ultimately miss the out on about is that tech ecosystem thrive in diversity and inclusion. So if we are looking at improving the economic prosperity of our nation, of our continent, we need more women to participate in tech industry because tech covers every aspect of our life, especially in this AI era. And when that happens, women will naturally gravitate towards our domestic role and sometimes drop off. That's why it's also important to ensure that at workplace, we are looking critically at work-life balance and work culture. At Microsoft, where I lead the Nigerian team, we are committed to empowering our women employees to achieve more through several programs aimed at encouraging female leaders in tech industry. And I hope these ideas that I'm about to share will inspire some of our leaders. So there could be so many interventions, but it's also up to the individual to take the utmost advantage of these different opportunities. So we need to dream as women. We need to accept that there has been different cultural norms that says women should not speak. We shouldn't speak up, you know, you don't raise your head. But those are changing. The business environment is supportive of women taking leadership role. Government is making different efforts to get more women to contribute to the digital economy. So as women, we also need to take advantage of this opportunity. And I'll share some guidance based on my own personal experience. Continuous learning is really important, especially in tech industry. Stay up to date with the latest trend and technology by taking online courses, attending workshops, and any relevant certification. Especially in this AI era, a lot of people have said, oh, AI has come to take our job. That's a myth. Especially women, please, if it means for me to kneel down to beg you, please embrace AI. Know what it is. Get the right skills and capabilities, because today, we're talking about if you can't use computer, you can't really be effective in workplace. But the world is moving. If you don't know how to use AI tools like Copilot, ChatGPT, and different other tools, then you would not be relevant. Let me tell you why this is important, because AI affects every aspect of life. Guess what? 2 weeks ago, we have women in fashion design came to our innovation center to use Microsoft Copilot to create designs that are relevant to Nigeria. And a lot of it is really mind-blowing. So you can see that AI is relevant in any industry. It depends on your imagination. So in order for us not to further create a wider gender gap in technology, women should not shy away from AI. Please embrace AI, learn it, know it, apply it in your work. Look at the use cases that are relevant to you and your work, and you'll stand out among your peers. Continuous learning, that's the goal. Networking is also important. Build a strong professional network by attending industry events such as this, conferences, join tech communities, connect with mentors and role models. They are all in this room. I encourage our young girls, please don't waste your time looking at people that are not adding value to your life. Put your time in developing relationship with trailblazers like Dr. Nkechi Ali Balogun. A lot of women here that are good role models, that when you look back in 10 years, 15 years of your life, you will be proud of yourself. That is what is critical. Please network with people. We need to also actively seek out mentorship and sponsorship. Mentors will not just walk up to you. I love sharing a story of a young girl. She was in one of the universities in Nigeria. It demands that we challenge existing norms, advocate for change, and support one another. As we continue to innovate and push the boundaries of technology, let us ensure that African women are not just participants, but leaders in this revolution. So every African woman or aspiring women in tech, your journey is powerful. Your voice matters, and your contributions are invaluable. Together, we can create a future where gender is no longer a barrier, but a source of strength and dignity. Remember, it starts with you. There are so many platforms available, but it starts with you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've just heard from our keynote speaker. Please, can you do that better? I think that the applause did not match our energy. Please, if you don't mind, let's give her a standing ovation. You know, one of the things that you can do when younger ladies will be shouting and screaming, hoo, 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 hoo. If it was Denzel Washington that was standing on stage now, you'll be shouting, hoo, 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 hoo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to do quite a number of things. We will just make sure that we take a little time. But before then, while she was speaking and talking about men and women supporting themselves, I remember this newlywed. And after they had finished their wedding ceremony, they retired home. When they retired home, the following morning, The man woke up from the bed and said, "Who is this in my bed?" And he called 911. And they said, "911, what's your emergency?" He said, "Hello, I don't recognize this woman in my bed." He said, "Calm down, what's the problem? I just got married yesterday and came home with my wife after from the reception, and I don't recognize this woman in my bed." And then the operator said, "Calm down." He said, "Did you just wake up from your sleep?" He said, "Yes." "What you need to do is to go back to your sleep, wait a few minutes, allow the woman in bed to go into the bathroom." He said, "Did she come with a small bag with her?" He said, "Oh yes, she has a small bag." "Just allow her to go back into the bathroom. When she comes back, you will no longer see the strange woman, then you will see your wife that you came back home with." And this may happen in the next 30 years when she becomes older. Please don't call 911 again. Your wife is with you. She will go into the bathroom and come back to you. Okay, we're going to take the panel session, but just before then, we're moving things around just a bit. And while they're setting up, let me also tell you the story of just a few of my friends. 3 of them went to have a drink somewhere. And after having the drinks, they were so drunk that they decided to go home by taxi. So when they got into the taxi, the taxi driver, knowing they were fully drunk, started the car and turned off the ignition immediately. When the first person came, gave him money and said thank you. The second person came, gave him money and said thank you. The third person, that one gave him a dirty slap. He said, thinking the guy knew what he had done. He said, "What was that for?" He said, "Next time, control your speed." Okay, so what we want to do, just before we have what is called the treasure hunt, we'd like you all to please, for the next 5 minutes, you can get up from your seat, network, talk to people, meet some new friends, make sure you are engaging someone. After the networking session, we will do the treasure hunt. The way the treasure hunt will go is that you would be asked to look for something under your seat. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but when you come back after the networking, you look for something under your seat, and whatever you find determines what you would have won. But before then, please, it's very important, get up, go around the room, meet somebody, and I'm going to ask you the name, the designation, or something about the person that you have just met. Please, can we do that for 5 minutes? Ladies and gentlemen, please, 5 minutes of networking. You want to give some of them, those who are shy, some tips on networking with people?
Hello. So this is, let me remind you, this is a 24th edition of the Neccipr Public Relations Roundtable. And what we're doing right now is networking. But I have just given you a clue. So you can actually ask the person that you're about to talk to, where are we and what are we doing? And like I asked you the other time, is this all you do?
It's not all I do. It's just one.
Yes. You know, so get to meet people, walk around the hall, and we'll be back in the next few minutes to hunt for treasure.
So what we're going to do is, where's that treasure hunt? This is now being moved forward. This treasure hunt.
It's coming here.
It's coming, yeah, it's coming before this now. So it's after the treasure hunt that will now take this.
Okay.
So the treasure hunt, as she has said, something will be stuck under their seat. If they find it, somebody's going to win 50,000. Somebody's going to win a shirt.
Hey, look at you.
How's it going? You didn't say you were the moderator.
Well, I am.
Well done. So how's your voice on carrying on?
How now? It's been a while. Oh, wow. Don't give me excuses. It's on the 18th of December. Where? Micah.
Life is not about your policies all the time. So you better rearrange your philosophies. I'm going to your fellow man. Stop calling me a prisoner.
Okay, please wrap up your networking so that we can come back for the treasure hunt. Kindly wrap up the networking. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please wrap up the networking so that we can have the treasure hunt and then the panel session. Ladies and gentlemen, please wrap up the networking for now and let's delay that until after the next few sessions. Please wrap up the networking and kindly return to your seats. Please return to your seats. It's time for us to do the next item on the agenda. Kindly return to your seats. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you?
Please wrap up the networking. Please wrap up the networking. Let's return to our seats. Kindly return to your seats so that we can continue the item on the agenda. So we're about to do the treasure hunt, and if you are not seated, I'm going to exclude you from the treasure hunt. Okay, I'm about to start picking for the treasure hunt. If you are not seated, you're automatically disqualified. Somebody is going to win cash, something substantial, and there will be other items to be won. So it's very important for everyone to be seated. The interviewers in the room, please, can you suspend the interviews for now? The content creators in the house, you may want to suspend the content creation for now. The mentees looking for mentors, don't worry, the mentors are still here until after this session. Nobody's going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. Please, let's suspend that so that we can do the treasure hunt. You just randomly ask people or ask them to volunteer. Who did they meet? About the person you met. If they got it right, they qualify for the treasure hunt.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hi, everybody. Yes, so how was the networking session? This is just an amazing platform. And Dr. Nkechi Ali Balogun, kudos to you. I can never get over the fact that 24 years, there is something about consistency. She is indefatigable. And like the president, chair of the PR Institute said that she doesn't take no for an answer. And for this particular time in this country, we all know what's going on, but she's able to pull this off. A round of applause again, please, for Dr. Nkechi Ali Balogun. Okay, so we are doing this treasure hunt, and I've just been told that the rules have changed. Normally, you're actually supposed to look under your seat, and you're supposed to find something under your seat. But I've been told that the rules have changed, and so we're going to do it this way. We're going to infuse our networking session into our treasure hunt. And so I'm just going to call someone, to come up. You don't need to come up, I know. It's difficult climbing the stairs. I find it difficult myself, but hey. So I'd just like to call someone, one person, that will come and tell me exactly who did you meet and give us the details of the person that you met. I have a hand up already. Yes, that's the rule. If you're able to give us, yes, exactly, and the person will confirm the details. And, oh, okay, all right, okay, yeah, the lady in red, the beautiful lady in red. We're picking four, yes, four persons, okay? So, madam, tell us who you met, give us the details of the person, and let the person come out and confirm.
Unfortunately, the person has left. She may not be able to confirm. But I met the deputy governor of Ogun State, a very nice person, very, very nice person, amiable, professional, a top woman in technology. But over and above everything, we found out that we are related politically.
Okay. You didn't tell us your name, madam.
I'm Yeye Adenike Agnes Shobajo, past Vice President of Neccipr.
Wow. This is indeed an Neccipr event. Let's have a second person. Like, yes, she met the deputy governor. She's popular, so that doesn't count. All right. So let's. Oh, you want to? Oh, okay. Sure, sorry.
Hello, everyone. My name is Damilola Ibrahim Akinleye. I'm a mass communication graduate. I'm a freelancer, digital artist, brand identity designer, and video editor. So I met Christabel. She's from Pan Atlantic University, and she's into product design, which is actually something that my friend and I, who are starting a digital studio, actually needed a product designer. So I think I might have met someone who's eligible. Yeah.
Christabel, where is Christabel? Where is Christabel? Don't go. We need to pair you up properly, you know.
Just
confirm everything he said.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Christabel, and and I am a graduate of Pan Atlantic University. I studied information science and media studies, and I'm venturing into product design. And yes, I did meet Dami.
5. That's one. Yes, the next. No, Christopher, you can take your seat. But you are the one that way.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anne Opara. I'm a final year student of Pan Atlantic University. I am studying information science and media studies. I met Mrs. Bumi Oke. She's into advertising and marketing, and she actually gave us her, personal contact. We can reach her and have further discussions with her. So, yeah.
So, can she confirm? Can you confirm? Confirmed. Okay, stay there. All right. But we have gifts for just 4 people, so we're going to have to do like a mini, minor more.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sudo Wisdom, a final year student of Department of Mass Communication, University of Lagos. I met 3 people actually, starting off with the first person. I met Pastor Kunle. He's been practicing PR for the past 20 years. And then I also met Rebecca. She stays in Abuja, and she's of the opinion that people that live in Lagos are not normal. But because they have to do the extra to be able to survive all that's going on. And she's currently into banking and finance. And the last person I also met Henry. Yeah, Henry is a biz administration student at the University of Lagos. So thank you.
No, just one person to confirm. Please, the first person you mentioned. Pastor Kunle. Where's Pastor Kunle? Oh, Pastor Kunle is here. Oh, okay, good.
Hello, everyone. My name is Olakunle Yusuf.
Yes, I have it.
Actually, I did meet Wisdom, Udo. Is that correct? Final year student of University of Lagos Mass Communication Department.
One more, just one more person. So let's do you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chuku from Naya Waldo. I'm a 300 level student of Mass Communication, University of Lagos. I met Barrister Nengi. She works at the Nigerian Content Development and Management Board. And she said, I asked her what exactly, because that was the first time I was actually hearing about the company. And she said, before we have a lot of foreigners in the oil industry, like the Shell and other companies. And she said that now they are actually regulating it, that they will bring foreigners into the company and they would train Nigerians for like some certain years, maybe 3 years and so. Then they will leave. Yes, they will leave, then they will transfer the skills. So that way, Barrister Nengi.
Barrister Nengi.
She's waving at us. At the back.
Oh, okay. That's true. All right. Okay, so I would...
Mini, many more.
Many more. So,
whatever you pick is what you get.
Yes, whatever you pick is what you get.
Just unveil and you will tell us what your gift is, one after the other. So, what's in your gift? I hope somebody didn't pick my own gift. Just tell us what your... Ike, can you please come around? Is empty? Are you sure? All of you picked empty stuff? Okay.
Okay.
So drop what you have. Drop what you have. Now pick again.
The whole idea, for this exercise, calling out people and asking them
If it's
who
empty,
they met,
drop and pick again.
is because anytime we do networking, a lot of times we may speak to like 20 people and forget the 20 people. We may take their cards and we never look at their cards. We may exchange their numbers and sometimes we don't even bother to call them. And so this is just to ensure that if we're networking, we're actually networking. And really,
Drop the one in your hand.
networking and collaboration is the future for progress and advancement. And that's why this particular segment of this...
That other paper, what's in it? Okay, so we'll note those three people. These have won 25,000 naira each. The gentleman in black has won a T-shirt.
Another black T-shirt.
Another black T-shirt. Then we'll come back and we'll resolve the last one. One of our panelists has to leave right now,
Yes,
so it's important for us to get going. Now, this first panel session is going to be a C-suite Women in Tech session. So I would invite the moderator, and my co-compare would invite some of the other panelists. So ladies and gentlemen, Pluto Airtel Business Nigeria as the moderator for this first panel session.
Yes, please. While she's making her way to the stage, can we please have one of the panelists, Olatomiwa Williams, please come on stage. Olatomiwa Williams. She was a keynote speaker. Okay, she's being interviewed, okay. And then let's have Adesua Imasaka. Adesua Imasaka, please come on stage.
It's okay.
Confidence Stavely. Can we have Confidence Stavely? We online, okay, yes. We have some, and then we have Adora Nwodo. Adora Nwodo, online as well. Can we have Dr. Ifi Kojo? Dr. Ifi Kojo. And finally, let's have Martha Omoekpe Alade. Martha Omoekpe Alade. All right, please, can we give them a round of applause? We have like 4 of the panelists, and they are going to be online. We have the moderator, who's going to be moderating this particular panel of leading women in technology, distinguished women who take no for an answer, women that are breaking the barriers, and women that are actually leading in this future and in the future to come. I wish you all the best because you have online. And the media people. Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Fola. Thank you, Uri. And I think Dr. Nkechi is outside, but yes, indeed, she's an amazing, amazing woman who takes no for an answer. Anyway, thank you so much for us all here this afternoon. And of course, I'm standing on existing protocols. When Olatomiwa was talking and I looked at some of the questions that we had here, I was like, okay, you've answered the questions, so you know what's going on. But we're still going to have a discussion with these powerful women here. And beyond just us women here listening to their responses, our conversation, it's also important that our allies, the men, also listen. It's important that the younger ladies, the younger men also listen because we're all in this together. When women succeed, the whole nation succeeds. So this is about collaboration. This is about us all winning. It's very enlightening to see a lot of C-suite women these days. But we didn't get here by chance. I mean, I think that even the numbers in that regard is still quite low. Nigeria is still at about 12, 13%. The world is about 29% these days with C-suite women. So I think I'm going to really start with Olatomiwa because you had given us some real good pointers today. But I'm going to start with 2 or 3 things that would help us to fight. And in this case, the bias I'm talking about is a pay bias. People call it pay parity, but I'd like to call it a pay bias because you gave an example as to something that happened to you because you're a woman. Tell us, how do you think we should combat that and deal with that in the workspace?
Thank you. I hope everyone can hear me. Okay, thank you very much. That is really important question because, I mean, why are we working if we don't get the right pay? A number of things that comes to mind. One, it is important for organizations to ensure transparent pay platform so that everyone, I'm not saying that everybody should know everyone's salary, but at least you know the range commensurate to your level. And by that, you will, as a woman, understand that this is what is due for my level and be able to, challenge the norm if that is not the case. And it's also important for organizations to regularly do a pay audit. Because sometimes it happens that, women just have less pay, but if an audit is conducted, you can actually look at the data, and data gives the accurate perspective of what is happening within the organization. So it's important to always conduct pay audits so that women are not get lower pay. And I've seen that in a number of scenarios. You know, women, maybe because of our nature, we're not as aggressive when negotiating for, you know, salary, especially when you're getting into an organization as men. But I don't think you are hiring people based on their nature. You're hiring them based on the value that they will deliver and the work that they need to do. So when I have visibility into what is obtainable for the level that I'm applying for, then it helps my negotiating power without necessarily having to be aggressive or shouting for me to get what is demand due to me. So I think two things: pay transparency and also regular audits. And thirdly, which is subtle, we also need to coach women to know how to handle pay conversation. So for some people, once they say, oh, you like money too much, then you shrink back. You don't have such discussions again. What is the definition of like money too much? Who defines too much? So it's really, and those are the subtle ways people get, you know, they just shrink back from having such conversation. There is nothing wrong in liking money. What is wrong is liking money at the detriment of other people. But if you like money, you work hard for your money, you do what is right, you need to earn your value. It is really important. So women also need to start, you know, taking up that responsibility themselves to challenge the status quo, to have the right conversation. Otherwise, it will continue. Even if the company is doing pay audit and all of that, nobody will come to you and say, I want to give you a pay rise just like that. Sometimes you need to have the conversation. And having coach that will help you to have articulate your point, your value in a way that is not emotional is really important. I won't just walk up to my boss to say, please give me a rise. For what? You need to be able to articulate the value you've already added to the organization and the additional value you can add on top of what you're doing by the virtue of what you're asking for. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Olatomiwa. Thank you very much, you know. And that leads me, and I think let's segue into this for Adesua. You know, as CEO, I know that you're facing quite a bit in certain rooms. How have you overcome that, and what advice do you have for the younger women who are looking to be CEOs?
Can everyone hear me? Okay, great. As Group CEO of Thai Corporations, I've always faced this gender bias, to be honest with you. I started off in the finance field, and as you're very much aware, finance is predominantly dominated by men, right? I mean, we've seen some strides in here the banking sector, where we have the majority of women, the majority of the banks, so the top 10 banks, now have female leadership. But it hasn't been easy, right? I think as a woman, we have to not try to imitate men in leadership. We have to focus on our own unique strengths, right? Our empathy, our drive for collaboration, our ability to make decisive decisions, right? Our ability to multitask, you know, our ability to give a different perspective to problems and create effective solutions. So the advice that I would give to young women is to be your authentic, true self, right? Don't try and copy anyone. Don't think you need to be more aggressive to make your point heard. Don't think that you also have to follow the exact same path you see a female CEO, right? Everybody has their unique strengths, and I think everyone should tune into that and adapt to situations. And also, mentorship is extremely important. Have somebody guide you. Okay, I have a meeting. I don't know how to approach it. You know, I'm meeting so-and-so person. Ask, you know, seek advice, seek mentorship.
Thanks, Adesua. Thank you. It's really important. Honestly, what we're discussing today is really important. You might think that it's not, but a lot of women need to hear this, to hear the fact that, look, you don't have to be aggressive, like you said. You you shouldn't even hide who you are as a woman in order to succeed, like Adesua said. And I think my question again goes to Dr. Ife, and you're in HP Enterprise, you're in B2B, and I know these spaces are really, really male dominated. How do you get your voice heard? Again, Uri, I need your help.
Go doctor or pharmacist or whatever. I have a phobia for blood and drugs. So I decided to choose something science that could please them, a balance, right? And I chose industrial chemistry. But I didn't like the lab, so I went into teaching. I became a lecturer, yeah. But I didn't like it because I was a bit frustrated. I was in the midst of males, older people. I was about 26 years old. After my master's, I got, into a state university, and I was lecturing for over a year and 6 months. 2 years, I wasn't confirmed. First, they said I'm a woman. 2, they said I have to get married, and gave me some certain conditions. And I was frustrated, so I went to a mentor, and I talked to the mentor, and I said, this is what I'm going through. And he said, what are you, a young girl like this, doing in the midst of old men? You shouldn't be here. You have very good relational ability, you can relate, you have the aura, you can talk to people. Have you tried sales? Go into sales. I have an organization that is looking for sales executive, and I think you can do it. You should go. I went in there, they were selling technology. I had no clue what technology was all about. None whatsoever. But I liked the manager that spoke to me. I liked the vision they created for the organization. I liked what I felt I could do with it. So I accepted the job. I resigned from the lecturership, went into business straight to sell. I started selling printers and toners and laptops. All right? And I started learning. Learn, unlearn, relearn, and grew from the rank. So that's how I got into technology. Chance meeting, but today I can tell you I was meant to be here.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for that, Dr. Ife. Olatomiwa, did you also get into tech by accident like Dr. Ife? I know you said you grew through the ranks, and that's something I also want you to discuss, because it's important that organizations groom women to take leadership positions. How can we do that better? And of course, did you get into tech by accident? Olatomiwa.
I would say that it's curiosity that got me into tech. My story, we have blenders at home today, but in those days, your parents will tell you to go and grind pepper. I was on the queue for my turn. I heard 2 young guys talking about computer and how it's going to change the world, and the fact that you have to study science to, be able to gain admission into university to study computer science. And that caught my attention. That was it. And I was filling JAM form, putting computer science, Unilag. I didn't make it for the first 2 times, but I kept on that this is what I wanted to do. And I'm happy I did. But of course, it wasn't a journey. I couldn't say I achieved everything all by myself. I have people that mentored me along the way. I had opportunities to learn things. I had opportunity to write certification exams. It stretched me a lot, but it's a good process because it's rewarding. You see yourself moving from one stage of your career to another. And in terms of growth, it's not something that will happen overnight. And growth also comes, there's some disappointments along the way. There was a time I was spending almost all my money on certification exams. At a point, I told my husband, then I said, all this money that I'm putting in certification, maybe we should stop it and I should go and do something else. He said, no. You wanted to do computer science, you wanted to, this is what you're going to do. So it's always important to have allies that will keep on encouraging you, because sometimes,
and to enable growth.
Dr. Ife?
Yeah, thank you. I think that as women, we come with a mindset. And that mindset is fixed based on how we grew up. Ola talked a little bit about it, you know. Things in your head. Constantly, culture tells you you are less than yourself. As a woman, there is something better than you. Okay, of it, to it. I did have it. I did. I remember the education services manager for West Africa. And I stood there almost frozen. Now, the fact is that over the years, I have worked, I have done things, I've projected myself, I've added value to the organization. But when it came doing all those while, what was I working for? What was the hard work for? What was the smart work for? What was the learning, the knowledge, the education? What was it for? So when it came, I wasn't prepared. Maybe I didn't expect it was going to come. And I have seen it happen to a whole lot of people in my team. I call up a young lady and I said, you're going to lead the meeting today. She goes, me? And I laugh because, yes, I did it once. And I said, yes, you. Okay? So we need, as women, to begin to believe in ourselves. How did I do it? I started self-talk. I talked and I talked and I talked to myself. There's nobody that can talk to you more than you talk to yourself. The voice in your head is you. You are the one carrying it. That voice is there speaking to you at every point in time. So know the voice you are listening to, know what is talking to you, and counter it. I call it the negative and the positive channel. Once your head tunes into the negative channel, cut it down immediately. And tell your positive channel to come on. Because you can do it, you have it, you've got it, you are here.
Thank you, Dr. Ife. And I know we need to round up. We have to round up. I want to say thank you to my panelists. Thank you so much, Olatomiwa. Your speech was really good, and I'm going to go back and listen to it fully. So thank you. I'm not asking you for last words because your words have been long today. Thank you, Adesua, for being here today. Thank you for your insight. Thank you, Dr. Ife. And thank you to Confidence and Adora and Martha, even though we were not able to connect with you, wonderful, amazing, powerful women. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. That was amazing. Thank you, wonderful ladies. And really, women, imposter syndrome. And we have to start expecting. Please, can we have the convener, Dr. Nkechi Ali Balogun, please, can you join the panelists on stage? Thank you. Yes. And so let's have the winners for the treasure hunt. We're going to do this quickly. Let's have the gifts. Those who participated in the treasure hunt and won, please come out. Please avail us with your beautiful presents. Can we have the winners of the treasure hunt, and can we have the winnings and their gifts?
No, we won't give it to them.
Okay. All right. Change of plan. Next panel session. And I'd like to call on the moderator. Sorry? Yes. I'd like to call on the moderator of the next panel session, Chief Entrepreneur. Yes. And she's the Chief Engagement and Experience Officer, Buckles, Africa. Please give her a round of applause. She's going to be moderating this next segment that has top and solid female entrepreneurs. And we hope to pick one or two things for us that are aspiring entrepreneurs from the women. So let's quickly have, please, let's make welcome Temidayo Salako, the head of community at Tunga. Temidayo Salako, are you here? Please join us at Onda. Okay, sorry. Temidayo Salako, sorry. At Tunga, come on now. All right, let's have Chisom Woko, please. Chisom Woko, please take the stage. And let us have Ike Olua Alibalogun. Ike Olua Alibalogun. And Daniela Usiade. Daniela Usiade. Young, solid female entrepreneurs or go-getters of today. So let's really make them welcome. All right, ladies, you have the stage. Use this mic. This would be yours. This would be yours. Okay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time in a few weeks, I actually feel young. I feel young. I mean, I'm seated by techpreneurs, the young techpreneurs. Ladies, good afternoon. So we'll just dive into the conversation, and it'll be nice for people to just have like 2 lines to talk about you and what you do, so that we can also, and the audience can also take a context to what the conversations would be around. So let's start with you.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Chisom Woku and I consider myself a couple of things. First, I'm a software engineer. I specialize mostly in big data and cloud technologies, helping organizations build data platforms. I'm also an author. I have a book that's helping software engineers land roles at international tech companies. And I'm also a digital content creator. I have a YouTube channel where I, talk about my life as a software engineer for girls or women that are interested in building STEM careers.
She's so much in one body. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Daniela Usiadi. I'm a petroleum engineer, a recent graduate of the University of Ibadan. I'm also a digital artist, graphic designer, and motion designer in training. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Ikeolua Alibalogun. I am a recent graduate of Information Science and Media Studies from the Pan-Atlantic University, and I am currently the events coordinator of this wonderful event. So.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Ike, Daniela, and Chisom, the techpreneurs of our time. So the other panel, there were some questions that were asked, and I found it very interesting. And I would want to sort of like repeat, if I may. What actually got you into all the things you've been doing? You're a digital content creator, you're just literally so many things in one body. How did you get there? What got you there?
Okay, I think everything stemmed out from me wanting to build like a career in technology. So everything I do came out from that foundation. So I had a very traditional IT background. Growing up, I had like a desktop at home, and so that was like my first spark of innovation as a child. And I remember telling my mom that I want to work for Windows, and I didn't know that Windows was actually Microsoft. That was my previous company. And moving forward to school, looking forward to study wasn't an issue. It was either computer science or computer engineering. I went to UNN, by the way. I built my first app. I launched it on Google Play Store, and I just knew that if I want to build like a career, it's definitely something that has to be around technology. So my first role was at Bank of America as a technology analyst intern before accepting an offer to work at Microsoft as a software engineer. And getting those positions, I realized that I want females to see that they can actually build amazing careers in engineering. And so I wrote a book to help other people land the kind of jobs that I did. And I also started a YouTube channel where I just film vlogs and just share about like my life as a technologist. So generally everything stemmed out from my childhood, the passion I had about IT and just building stuff.
And if there's anyone here who would like to get into tech, she's got a YouTube channel. She'll share her handle off the stage. She did pay for free ad. All right, so journey and how you got to doing what you're doing.
Okay, as far as engineering is concerned, I have always wanted to be an engineer, so I just went for it in school. But my sector of tech is mostly design focused, and how I started that was I have been drawing for as long as I've ever known. I started in primary school and I just continued, and at some point in 2019, I saw some posters and I was like, oh, I want to know how to make things like that. And my mom got me registered in this graphic design school. And then my teacher was showing me, some incredible work that some artists were making, and I knew that I wanted to take it further. So when I saw that graphic design was a bit limited in what you could create, I was like, okay, I want to learn how to illustrate. So I learned how to do that, and I've been a digital artist and a graphic designer since 2021 and 2019 respectively. And now I learned how to animate and motion design this year, so I'm hoping to take it even further.
Okay, I'm somewhat intimidated by their profile because averagely they have like 2, 3 things they do. I'm like in just one single body. All right, I would respect myself and stick to the job I know how to do best, okay?
So my journey in tech is not as cut and join. As you know, both of my parents are very much into communication, into the media. So for me, I thought that was what I was going to go into full time. So when I was applying for university, I applied to mass comm. And my dad came home one day and he was like, I changed your thing, you're going to do information science. And I was confused because while I grew up, I loved ICT, I loved computers, I've loved devices, there's always been something about it in me. I thought that tech meant you have to do math, you have to do this, you have to do that. But going into university and being an information science and media studies, it introduced me to an aspect of tech that was able to blend both of my interests, both creatively and technically. So that's what has propelled my journey so far. And as a recent graduate, I am getting more resources, more information, just to become a better, more informed tech person. So.
Thank you. And she's quite lucky to have gone to school when the courses are a lot more interesting, if you would agree with me. So tell me, Chisom, the experience in the tech field, has it been for you? So we hear things like it's a male-dominated space, but I'm seeing more women at the table and doing great things. So how's it been for you?
Yeah, so generally as a lady, being in technology has been nothing short of amazing. And when I got in 2019, I found it really hard, like going on social media to check for, women that inspire me and people that I can look forward to. But it's not like that now. Like you can literally go to LinkedIn or Twitter and see women in engineering, in design, doing amazing things. So things have changed, and I'm really happy for platforms like this that are encouraging more women to start building careers or to be, more forward in the things that they're learning. So generally, I think I faced a couple of stereotypes as a lady. Some people see me and they're like, oh, you're probably a designer or you're a product manager. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm a software engineer. And they're like, oh, do women do engineering? So I think most of those stereotypes are, going down, and women are feeling more encouraged. I mean, seeing ladies sitting down on stage or seeing them in their workplace, you can say, okay, if Chisom can do this, then I think I have a spot on the table. But generally, as a lady, it's been a bit challenging because you need to do above and beyond to prove to people that you know what you can do and allow your work speak for you as much as you can. So it's like extra work.
But you get it done. And you're doing it well.
Yes.
Well done. Well done. So when I listen to you, Daniela, and so in our industry, there are quite a number of, and Mrs. Oke can confirm, the female artists are the finest. They're the finest. They do great work. But I'm sure it's not really been a walk in the park for you. There would have been some learnings, challenges, some hurdles you had to cross. What would you want to share with us? Again, the experience may be different for you now compared to others who walked the path before you. Just share with us what your experience has been, what the challenges are, if any.
Okay, I'd say in regards to that, I'm somebody who has generally been in male-dominated spaces for a very long time. Tech aside and engineering aside, for my hobbies, I'm actually a footballer. I'm very into football.
Please clap for her. It's very intimidating. I cannot kick a ball. I can't kick anything.
So yeah, I grew up playing football with the boys, and even when I started drawing, I was drawing in a class full of boys, and of course I studied engineering. I was in a class where the ratio of girls to boys was maybe 1:6. So growing up in those environments, I think has made me be very able to adapt, and it has made the journey pretty seamless, I would say. It has also helped me build a certain level of confidence, a certain level of grit, because especially in that football aspect, you learn how to stick up for yourself, you learn how to make your voice heard, and I think that just helps you to pass through any challenges much easier.
She's lucky. So, Ike, you know, when we were speaking this morning, I was quite interested to see, so what's this course about? Tell me, what do you think when you compare the journey so far? I mean, the experience of having undertaken the course you did. What value do you think it gives you? What edge does it give you when you at least compare yourself with me? I read sociology, you know, and it was an interesting course, yeah. But in a few years back, we didn't have interesting courses that sounded like. So tell us, what do you think the experience is giving you as a value edge?
Okay, so information science and media studies is a fantastic blend of mass communication and computer science. I feel like that's the best way to put it. So in today's age where we see the rise of AI, we're seeing cybersecurity issues, privacy issues, all these different issues. My course has given me the edge in that I am aware of both sides of the coin. I am able to attribute my media and communication skills when I need to, and I'm able to apply the information techniques if I need to. So if I were to go to a company, I know that I will be able to provide a lot of value, because either way, if they want me to advertise for them, I'm ready to do that. If they want me to provide information in the IT segment, I'm ready to do that. It all depends on what they need me to do. And it also all depends on what I decide to specialize in, because I have decided, for instance, at the moment, I want to go into IT project management, yes. So I know that I'm going to dive more into the IT segment. I'm going to go more into things that require me to understand information technology in a deeper sense. But my understanding of communication principles will allow me to be in spaces with communication people and not be out of place, not be in a situation where I'm looking at them, I don't understand. I understand what is happening, and I'm able to provide value on both ends.
Thank you. Chisom is an entrepreneur, and she's an entrepreneur on different sides. One of the most interesting platforms for me is YouTube. Have you seen any video that teaches on YouTube monetization? It's a big business. So Chisom is really big. And so on the premise of the bigness of your portfolio, would be nice to hear you, you know, sort of share some. Obviously, tech would have an influence on the job you do and the run. But what do you think have been the essential value that tech has brought into your journey as an entrepreneur?
Okay, I think for me, on the content creation aspect, will be visibility. The ability to sit down like in your room and you have nobody there and you can air your videos without little or no equipment and people can watch you on YouTube, people can watch you on Instagram, people can watch you on LinkedIn, in so many places. So that visibility standpoint as well. And also the ability to share as much value as you can, because there are a lot of things like people can go to so many places to learn things, but when they see people like sit down and actually break these technical concepts down into things they can understand, that's also an added advantage technology gives.
Thank you. Daniela, the journey for you would be one of great interest to me, particularly because you said you've always been amongst the boys, so you never quite found it that challenging, you never quite found yourself out of place. But tell me, how have you been able to balance your relationship? So I say things like you're a woman, gives you that advantage to even do better than an average individual, because you're a woman, really. We've got so much God-given competencies and strengths. But have you been able to balance the work, I don't like using work balance, integrating work to your everyday life, relationships, commitments, and all you have to do? Have you been able to integrate it so well with the many hats you wear? Really, have you been able to do it?
So I'd say work-life balance is, even though you don't want to call it that, but I say it's something that's very important to me. I currently work as a youth corper at Echo Electricity Distribution PLC. So I work there, of course, Monday to Friday. But how I try to balance this alongside my digital art and design work is that I try to ensure that my weekends are planned out very well. I think you have to prioritize your rest and you have to prioritize your fun. So I believe in working for a reward, even though that reward is to myself. So I think that once you just prioritize the amount of time that you allocate to your own self-care, your own fun, your own time, I think that's how I'm able to balance everything out.
She's a soft life princess.
Yes, I am.
She is. Well done. So, Ike, 5 years down the line, how do you see the practice of information science and communications? Would it be a big thing in our markets? Be the one to predict the future right here now. Yeah?
I think, the information science market is going to continue to grow. The world is nothing without information, right? Yeah. Every day we're bombarded with different types of things that we see online, different things. We don't know we need the ability to discern what is true and what is not, what is factual, what is needed. The internet is riddled with a bunch of things that we do not need. So as an information scientist, I'm going to be able to analyze this information to see how the patterns of growth, what they are, what people are looking for, how they are looking for it, how to protect people's information also, because with the rise of AI and all these things, there's going to be the challenge of cybersecurity. We're going to be able to try and see how to make it harder for people to get information you don't want them to see and make it easier for you to get the information that you do want to see. For the communication aspect, I feel like generally us as a society have a problem with understanding each other. People put stuff online and other human beings are not able to properly disseminate that information for themselves. So we need to find a way to solve this problem. And usually it's not an easy problem to solve because you have the issues of filter bubbles, echo chambers, all those things. But if we can find ways to reduce those instances and further streamline content so that while people are getting the information that they want to see, you're also going to be able to get a wider world view to expand your mind and not just keep you trapped in one place. So information scientists are going to help you be better in 5 years.
So just to write on what you've said, I think that integrating technology and information science would only make communications more engaging, better understood, better received, just a better picture. Mm-hmm. Good. So if we circle back to you, Chisom, there have been so many talks around AI, and when you literally ask a question of what are the trends, that we should envisage would jump at us from the tech space, everybody tends to talk about AI. We do know that the AI framework or the policy framework is being developed even across developed markets, and we may have a bit of time catching up with a lot of that, especially with the complexities of our society and community. But tell us, beyond the regular talk of AI, what do you think would be the trends that will pop up on the tech space in no distant future?
Okay, I think aside AI, I always like to talk about the fields in technology that power AI. So those fields actually already exist. And for me, I think there are just three. Big data, the cloud, and cybersecurity. I mentioned big data first because, I think I do a lot of things around big data, so I might be a bit biased. But data actually fuels the most efficient and, better AI systems or better AI products that will be built in the coming years. So if you're here and you most likely want to get into technology, I think big data is a side of tech that you should look at more because you're not going to be out of the market in the coming years. A second is cloud, because most of artificial intelligence products that are built run on a lot of infrastructure, and those infrastructure and compute run on the cloud. So if you're most likely a cloud engineer or a DevOps engineer or someone that does things around platforms and making sure that things are always available, that's another field that you can go into because that's a huge part of artificial intelligence as well. Now, the third and most important field that people usually overlook, in my opinion, is cybersecurity. Because when you talk about AI, you're going to be talking about, like she mentioned, a lot of privacy issues, policies around AI, deep faking, and all of that. So you're going to need cybersecurity experts that can help probe all these problems that would arise from things that AI is going to give us. Because at the end of the day, AI is coming as a positive impact, but there'll also be instances where you would have the negative side of things. So big data, cloud, and cybersecurity are three trends or three career paths because come 5-10 years, those are things that will still be in the market.
Interesting, thanks. So, just listening to you, and so, you're biased for big data. I am also somewhat biased on comms, and because that's the space. That's where my bread is being buttered. The space for data, for sure, would positively impact the sort of strategies and outputs we comms and practitioners within this integrated communication space deploy. So, it's commendable. Are there tools of reference frameworks that you think could possibly be of value to people that are in the audience? I'll be intrigued to know. We're wanting to know what it is.
Yeah, I think for any technologist or anybody that's in the tech industry to better utilize something that's coming out or something that's starting to be in vogue is to understand the fundamentals of so many things. People use, ChatGPT as buzzwords or artificial intelligence, but nobody actually knows what language learning models are all about. You don't really need the nitty-gritty of those things, but you can actually understand the architecture of how they are being built or how they are being designed. So the first thing would be that fundamental knowledge. There are several resources like deep learning on Coursera. There are other resources as well on the internet that you can actually look at the back end of how these artificial intelligence products work. And I believe that even if you're in comms or you're a software engineer, if you understand how these things work under the hood, you would be in a much better position to utilize them. So starting from the fundamentals, understanding it, and who knows, even going ahead to build your own models or your own AI products.
She wants to tell me to round up.
I actually want to apologize. We're supposed to be 4 panelists, and we missed out one person, and that's none other than the beautiful and the wonderful, talented and great Shola Adeshakin. Please join us.
So sorry, Shola. We will take all of the questions from you. Thank you so much for your understanding. On behalf of Uri and Fola, I apologize. Thank you for joining us. But I could just quickly jump at you. And I have you say a few things before we round up the session. So one is, tell us about how your journey has been as a founder yourself. What's been the good, the bad, and the ugly ride? What are the key things you think could also encourage or motivate other people to follow the steps which you have undertaken? And pretty much everything you believe that would be very useful to me, because I'm like literally sponging everything in, right? And then after then, I would ask Mrs. Ali Balogun for another conference, a summit like this, where we would bring you guys to come and teach those of us in the comms sector some things that would make our businesses and interests more compensating as a way. But thank you for your understanding. Please, you can just respond.
Good afternoon. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to be here. No, what's the word? I mean, I was literally learning already from them. So even if I didn't have to come up, it wouldn't be an issue. So well done and thank you. Thank you. My name is Shola Adeshaki. I'm a chartered accountant and I qualified about 24 years ago. I did not intend, yes, thank you. I did not intend to go into tech. I was just your regular chartered accountant, just doing stuff. And because of my personal experiences, I had a lot of money issues. You would think that a chartered accountant should understand, he gets our finances, together, but it was the opposite for me. I was chartered, but my finances were scattered. That's
interesting.
Right. I was always very broke. I was a finance manager at work. 3 or 4 days after salaries were paid, I would get IOUs. My subordinates knew that, FM will soon ask for IOU. It was that bad. So along the line, I made some really bad mistakes, but I learned in a hard way. And then I decided to start to teach people about financial literacy, how to make, manage, and multiply money. And that was how my sojourn into financial literacy started. We started to teach courses, started to teach women, young people, and it's been about 10 years. And in the course of teaching people, we realized that it was not enough to provide education. We had to provide a means of execution. So moving people from just learning that they need to make money or manage it or multiply it, we then realized that there was a need for us to put practical tools and resources in place. So we started by creating the Smart Stewards Academy, a learning management system where there were and there are still tons of video resources, tools and all of that for people to understand financial literacy. Then along the line, people started to say, okay, I know that I need to save and invest, but how? Right? Then we started an investment club, but it was not enough. Then we had our own web app, and then it was not enough. And gradually, an accountant moved, from being an accountant into financial literacy, a coach, an investment coach, and then a fintech girl. Because as I speak, we then have launched our own mobile app called the Wealth Sync to help people understand the dynamics of making, managing, and multiplying money. So, my co-panelists here did computer engineering. I didn't do any computer anything. It was just my passion, my proficiency, my personal experiences, and then partnerships, 4 Ps, that led me into this journey of fintech. And I've never looked back. We have served people in about 40 countries. We have provided literacy resources for them. We have jointly invested over $8 million in like 2 years just doing this, great work of financial
Great work,
literacy.
great
So
work.
that's my journey, literally.
So necessity gave birth to invention. That's interesting. And in the journey, 10 years, so you're one of those people really that don't sign money in the companies, They just don't allow us spend money. And we marketers like to spend money. And I found it interesting because, again, you would have assumed a chartered accountant would do well. What key thing was it really that you weren't doing right that gave birth to these life-saving solutions you're now providing?
All right. There's this thing about going to school and thinking that because you are literate and you're educated, you ordinarily would understand how to manage your finances. And this is not peculiar to chartered accountants. There are a lot of PhD holders, MBA holders who are broke. I coach them, I consult for them. So financial literacy is a different framework. So that you have gone to school does not mean that you will know how to manage money. It's a different thing. You necessarily must learn how to make it, manage it, and multiply money. So for me, like I said, I made mistakes, and then I realized and I learned that, my mind is sort of literate in terms of education, but understanding how money works it's different. That's why people will tell you that they're struggling with their resources, even though they make a lot of money. Because the skills to make money, almost everybody has it, right? You can wake up one day, provide value, money comes to you. But the skills to manage money are different because you must learn to say no. You must learn to save. You must learn to direct your money. You must learn to budget. You must learn to practice delayed gratification. You must learn to say, because I can afford it does not mean I should purchase it. So it takes retraining yourself, retraining your mind, embracing financial literacy. And that's what we do at Smart Stewards. I learned it the hard way, and I'm like, no, nobody around me, no young person. And these days we have been pouring so much resources, getting grants, doing partnerships, doing trainings to say, because children and young people of this age, by privilege, they have access to so many things.
Yeah.
And they don't learn those things. And they have access to this money, they spend it anyhow. We want to be careful not to produce children that are not financially responsible. Most of people in my generation, because our parents did not hand over some of those things, we learned it.
Till tomorrow.
Exactly. So we are careful to say, youngsters, you have the money, learn how to manage it, learn how to multiply. So financial literacy and fintech and all, it's wide. But I am really passionate to say, we cater to people who are in retirement, pre-retirement, baby boomers. I'm in my mid-40s by next year. Then we have a generation of millennials, a generation of Gen Z, and then Gen Alphas too. So what we do cuts across all of those age spectrum, and the goal is the same. Go to school, have certifications, make money, but know how to manage and multiply your money. And that's what we do.
Thank you. Well done. Do you by chance have a bias to, okay, so I'm a woman, and I'm not sorry to say it. Are you by chance inclined to supporting more women? How do you run?
Say that again, please.
So your services, all of your interventions,
Got you.
are you more inclined to women or you're 50-50?
Got you. When we started, it was an all-women thing. Then whilst the women were doing webinars, their husbands would be in the background. And they'd be like, why now? Why for women only? But over the years, we have expanded and our services cut across not just women, but men and children. We have a junior club for children. We have stuff for women, but generally our courses, our resources, our mobile app is tailored for all gender, both genders.
Okay. Thank you. So, I didn't forget you three ladies who've been keeping me company. I just want to, as much as possible, sponge out a lot as we can from Shola. And to go into, like, rounding up, right? What resources, top of your head, would you advise, those of us here to consider in the course of wanting to be better financially disciplined? And I can say, with all the energy, you're really radiating positive energy. And your experiences, I can imagine it's not been a very easy ride. It's not like you were walking in the garden. You would have gotten lost at some point. Have you managed the tough times? Have you managed the tough times?
I can count like 5 questions in that question.
Have you cried?
Have I?
Have you cried? Like one day I had a situation and I just went alone to a space and I started wailing. Then I called my business mentor and he was like, MS, many will come, many will happen. Save your energy. What's the worst that can happen? Rise above it. I don't know if that works for everybody.
Right.
But, how's it been for you?
So with my personal finances, I have cried in the past. Oops. Yes, but when I embraced the right principles, knowledge, I don't cry when it comes to my personal finances because I have a lot of things going on well for me. But as a small business owner in Nigeria...
Say that again.
Yes, Nigeria can happen to you many times.
Don't worry, you'll survive.
Right, yeah. So maybe occasionally I'm discouraged. But talking about resources, which you asked, I think a good place to start or to answer that question is get mentoring and coaching. For your personal finance, and that's what we do. Mentoring, coaching. How do I make money? How do I manage money? How do I multiply it? Sign up at Smart Stewards. Free adverts. Right there.
Please note too.
Other resources, read books. I recorded a new video for my YouTube channel, Smart Stewards by Shola Adeshakin, just 2 days ago. And I listed about 10 books everybody should read if you want to have a good grip on your finances. So read books to get ahead with your finances, get mentoring and coaching, follow those who know, right?
Yeah.
Embrace the right tools. There are lots and tons of resources online and offline that will help you manage your resources well. Let me end by saying there's a quote by one of my mentors in finance, and he says, the journey to financial freedom is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So sometimes you make money, you have a lot of money. The next time you see that you don't have money again, your bank account is very low. So keep at it, learn the right principles, and keep doing what is right. I'm an author of 8 books, by the way.
Wow.
Yes, I have 2 of my books here. Maybe you can get a copy. 40 Frugal Rules for Your Journey to Financial Freedom.
She'll sign for us too.
Basic tips to help you jumpstart your personal financial journey. I'll be at the back. I can autograph some. But there's so much to say about financial literacy. So keep exploring, keep learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Shola. And as Shola's newly self-appointed manager, speak to me. We'll run coaching sessions for all of you. Speak to me first. Don't go to her directly. Thank you, Shola. So ladies, Ike, Chisom, and Daniela, in a minute, just say to us exactly what you think we can jump on. I'm always very inclined to learning. I try to read, yeah, but whatever I can consume on the move works for me. But what are the resources that you think, whether you're a woman in tech or an entrepreneur relying on tech to support your business growth, or even a professional, without a doubt, we all need tech in our lives. Sitting here and someone in the US watching us is tech supported or tech enabled. What 1, 2, 3 resources do you think people here can just go home with that would better the journey as entrepreneurs or employees or employers of labor, as the case may be? Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll just mention very quickly 2 resources. The first would be the internet and community. So for the internet, I have a lot of people that meet me to say, oh, I want to go to a boot camp. I don't have 250K or 300K. But the internet is actually free in a sense because you still need to buy data. So when you go to the internet, aside YouTube, look for structured resources that are free or are affordable. So try to focus on just one thing. If you figure out that you want to be in the mobile space or you want to learn cloud computing or you want to learn about product design, try to focus on just one course. Finish that course, do like assessments, build projects, and just keep reiterating on those things till it sticks. And the second and most important thing I think you need as a woman in technology is community. Don't learn in isolation. Don't feel like you can do everything by yourself. Try to look for a community of people that are learning with you. Try to look for a pool of beginners that are on the same level with you and just learn with them. Then within that community, you also find mentors, people that have gone ahead of you, people that can make your learning process shorter. So the internet, look for structured resources. Don't learn everything and anything that you see. And also try to join at least 2 communities that are active and, they know what they're doing in the community. So for me,
Great.
that's it.
Community helps, yeah? Yeah, let's see, Daniela.
All right, for my sector in design, I would recommend this Netflix documentary. It's about 2 seasons. It's called The Abstract of Design. And I think everybody who is remotely creative, regardless of the sector of design you're in, whether it's products, motion, graphic, regardless of whatever creative thing you're doing, I think everyone needs to see that documentary. Like, it will completely open your mind to new possibilities, things that you could not even imagine were possible. People are doing them in that documentary, and I think it would really expand your mind. And as far as skills go, I think, of course, like Chisom said, internet and community are so important. You can do so many online courses on Domestika and Udemy, and community is so important because you can only grow and build when you have people ahead of you who are guiding you and who are inspiring you as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, like these 2 lovely ladies have said already, the internet and community are very important. Community, you find mentors, you find people that are in the same space as you that are trying to learn together. You take advantage of opportunities like this, conferences like this. You go, you network, you meet people, because meeting people online and meeting people face to face are 2 different entireties, and it's always good to have both interactions with such people. Then with the internet, you can make use of platforms like ALX, Udemy, Coursera, SheCode, freecode.com, all those wonderful resources that we are able to have access to thanks to the internet. So,
Okay, thank you, ladies. So to round up, I just wanted to say that on an unserious but a bit of a serious note, it's Friday tomorrow. Daniela has given us reason to binge on Netflix by what Design, the documentary, and I think it's important that we all take something away from here, which is, again, reiterating the power of community and the value community interaction brings into our lives. Don't just be associated with people or groups for the sake of it. As much as possible, explore and open yourself to the value of it. I want to thank the very beautiful ladies, especially Shola, who just came to drop the cherry on the cake, right? And I also want to thank Mrs. Nkechi Alibalogun for this very interesting session. Thank you, ladies. So thank you. If you have questions, please engage them offline through me.
The group picture, the group picture. There's so many takeaways from here, so many. And I was very surprised to know that even chartered accountants get their financing wrong. Yeah. That kind of like made me feel a bit better,
Let's wait.
Yes. Okay. Okay, that was lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you. We did well. Yes. That's what I was saying. We did very well with timing. Yes. Okay, so let's do.
Okay, no.
Questions and answers.
Yeah, question
People
and
are tired. Let them go.
they are not, they have given them for question and answer, vote of thanks, and then tell them about the massage. If their case their legs are tired, they should go to the back and massage their legs. If you have somebody's birthday, Christmas is coming, they should buy their dress.
Okay. All right. We've this is like unofficially we're almost rounding up. So we just have vote of thanks coming up. We have presentation of the gifts for the people that won. But you see, we know you've been sitting for a long time, and our gracious hostess, the convener of Neccipr PR Roundtable, the lovely and the indefatigable Dr. Nkechi Ali Balogun. I really love that, you know. Now she's arranged the very, well, demure and mindful. Resplendent.
Gorgeous.
So behind the hall, there's actually a spot where you can just go and have your feet massaged, all for free, right? Okay, let me leave that part. Okay, so if you want to have your feet massaged, I know that I would want my feet massaged, you know. So at the end of the hall, Christmas, you might as well use that opportunity to pick a beautiful gift present for, you know, your loved ones. And while you're doing that, we can just go ahead and do we do the presentation of the gifts? All the questions and answers.
Just give it the account numbers.
Okay,
The
so.
money once I'll do it, I'll transfer it right here.
Oh, okay. All right. So if you won, please reach me and send your account numbers because we'll do the transfers to you. The money is not going to be lost in transit. It will not enter voicemail. You will get your alert right now. Please, if you want 25,000 naira for networking, isn't that amazing? Networking. I should network more. Maybe I'll win more. Yeah, you know. So. All right. So right now we're on to the vote of thanks. But I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone that sat from the beginning to the end. It's usually not, this is rare, you know, that people will sit and just listen to great minds, to ideas, and to solutions. And this is Women in Tech 2024 on the platform of the Neccipr PR Roundtable. And we are saying congratulations to Neccipr. And we are also taking this time out to invite Temitokpe Ruth Jacobs for the vote of thanks. Temitokpe Ruth Jacobs for the vote of thanks.
Some guys just shut me down. They're refusing to turn it off. No, don't worry. She was coming here. She went back again. That's the person.
Oh, really? Okay. A round of applause, please. Vote of thanks. The beautiful, demure, and mindful Temitokpe Jacobs.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you to everyone. I want to use the opportunity to thank the convener, the woman behind all of this. Thank you so much, Ma. And by the way, she's doing a whole lot for people, especially women in tech. And I want to specially say thank you, Ma. Thank you for grooming us. Thank you for loving us. And thank you for doing this for us. Thank you. I want to especially thank our keynote speaker, Mrs. Olatomiwa Williams. I want to thank our patron who is not here, unfortunately. I also want to thank our sponsors, our partners, and I want to thank you for coming. Please, a round of applause for yourselves, please. You've been amazing. You've been here. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to such a...
Mr. J. Stone, Mr. J. Let he who is without sin be the first that cast the stone. The first that cast the stone. Mr. J. I am a baby say, I wanna be president. I want your money from my government. When you don't know what you won't know, when you don't know what you won't know, what you can know. Jailer, jailer. Oh, be good, oh, be good, oh, be good, oh. Somebody be good, oh, be good, oh, be good. Oh, be good, oh, be good, oh, be good, oh. No, 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 no. Oh, yeah. I'm in chains, you're in chains too. Our uniforms and you are uniforms too. I'm a prisoner, you're a prisoner too, Mr. Jailer. Oh, I have fears, you have fears too. I'll die, but you Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́, ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ mi, ilẹ̀ yìí o. Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́.